Today's Ashes of Creation livestream was pretty damn sensational. It showed off some PvP and some caravan mechanics, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. Let's jump in, let's talk about what they spoke about and show you the footage. So as ever with these, do keep in mind that it is a work in progress. And really, whilst this sort of video was billed as being a PvP caravan, it's mostly the caravan mechanics that I think are the most interesting. The whole purpose of a caravan is that there are risks associated with travel. You can have materials and commodities on your person and run them from place to place and it's relatively safe, but if you want to transport large amounts of goods, then a caravan is what you need. The issue is the caravan can be attacked with any number of players, and the video basically shows this. There is an enemy group pulling up a caravan along the road, and then one of the rangers is using camouflage, and eventually Steven's party basically attacks the caravan, wipes out the players, and then they destroy the caravan. Now apparently you can actually move the caravan, but you don't want to hand in the enemy caravan because it would count for them. So you destroy it, and when you destroy the caravan, there is some loot. And the loot, I think in this example, is some commodities and some materials. And they show up in these two types of crates. I don't know if there's going to be different or more types of crates, but in this video there's two types. Now what's interesting here is that you can pick up this loot as you would any kind of normal inventory. But if you pick it up manually like that and you open the box, then you lose some of the materials. However, if you have your own caravan and you pick up these crates, then you actually get more materials. I assume because the logic there might be that some of the materials are actually damaged, not 100% sure. Steven's party, once they had destroyed the enemy caravan and all the goods are on the floor, they summon their own caravan. What this is that there's basically a banner and then that summons your caravan to your location. Depending on how far away your stored caravan is, will depend on how long this summoning time takes. So the closer it is, the quicker it'll be, the further away it is, the longer it will be. When the appropriate time has passed, your caravan will appear. And then there's two types of goods that you actually can get. You get stolen goods and commodities. You then take that caravan to a town or a node. I don't think it has to be the same one that the enemy was going to, but maybe I just didn't pick up on that. And there's two types of goods basically. There are these stolen goods and there are commodities. And the stolen goods, they require selling through the black market for gold. Now the black market is an addition to the market that the node creator, or decider I guess, can decide to add in or not add in. Not every node will have a black market. So after Steven gets his caravan, they set off. And very interestingly and very importantly, they decide that the road is blocked ahead, maybe there's not a bridge being built or something like that, and they literally take to the water. So they take their caravan down to the water side and convert it to a raft. Now you can only do this in rivers, I think, and there is actually a building procedure here. So they sort of set up a little dock, they build the raft, they basically convert the caravan into the raft, and then they set sail, which to be honest was truly amazing to see. Now the PvP itself was interesting. The enemies, if we're honest, there's not as many as the enemies as there are in the Steven group, and that is by design because obviously they want to show off the systems, they don't want unexpected consequences here. And yeah, the PvP just looks like fun, interesting mass PvP. One thing that I would maybe say, and you might not like this because I don't like it myself, is that it did seem like there might be a very big potential of the mass PvP simply being very zergy and not very coordinated. I don't know if there will be any mechanics to stop that. I don't know if that will be the case. If it literally just becomes whoever brings the most amount of people wins, that won't feel very good, but it will sort of make sense, I guess. But yeah, the combat looks good. There's nothing crazy here. A lot of abilities, a lot of spells. They show off various camera angles and stuff like that. Yeah, really cool. One thing that they did speak about is effectively the difference between the open seas and the oceans and the rivers. So the only vehicles that are intended to go on the rivers are these rafts. And maybe I just didn't quite understand. It sort of sounded like only these caravans will be rafts. And if you want to attack one, then you do it from the shore. Now, in my head, it sort of feels like the best place to do this kind of transporting would be in the river every single time, but maybe that won't be the case. They eventually get the raft caravan to be near the node, so they go to the land, and the land that they go to, it has to be a relatively flat beach. It's not like you can just do this on the rocks. And they said that there will be specific places that you can do this that are designed to be this, so that there's always a location that you can offload and maybe be attacked. Now, the way that the PvP works, unless you're in that raid who is transporting the caravan, or you are in the caravan, as in it is yours, you can't see where the caravan is on the map. And indeed, when you get close to it, there will be some kind of a user interface that suggests, hey, there is an event going on, do you want to join this raid that is attacking it? There's a couple of questions I have there. If you've joined the raid that is attacking a caravan, what's to stop you just looting as much as you can and running off? I'm not really sure if that can be griefed or something like that. Let's wait and see. It's way too early to really question that. There were some really interesting details with the Raft, for example. They say that the current is actually going to matter. So if there's a big current, like you're on a very strong river, then it will either speed you up or slow you down depending on which way you're going. I think something like Valheim might have that. With the PvP, what was interesting is that the enemy's health bar didn't really fully accurately show, and that's intentional to give a bit of mystery about how much health your enemy has, because in real life, I know that doesn't make any sense, it's a fantasy game, but in real life you wouldn't have that information. It is part of the design. They also mentioned a little bit about the camouflage that I alluded to. Rangers have camouflage, which is basically a distortion, a shimmer, a distraction, something like that, which means that when you are far away, you don't really see them very well. And then the closer you get, the more visible they become. And then it's the rogue that will actually have pure invisibility of like a short distance. Honestly, I thought the video was very good. I thought the showcase was great. The transition from Caravan to Raft, I thought was truly amazing. I mean, it might logically not make sense that you can transform a Caravan into a Raft and then back again, but you know what? I don't really care. It looked cool. And the gameplay potential there could be really, really high. And that's just with Caravans in general. Like the planning, how much loot you're taking, where you're taking it to and from. The emergent gameplay there, I think could be really, really sensational. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe.